let's bring in Leroy Hoard. Leroy Hoard, join this conversation about, the risk and reward.
Leroy,
yes, I know, because Leroy is from a time where, hey, I'm John Wayne, damn it. Get out my way.
Leroy, do you believe how soft Jay is? He wants to sit guys. What is going on here?
Hold
This
on.
is nonsense.
Hold on. Let him talk.
Here's the issue. And the two guys sitting to your right can tell you this unequivocally. Before you were an NFL player or a college player or whatever, you were a competitor.
Yeah.
That means that no matter what you did, you loved competing against other people and beating other people and having success against other people.
Right. And
that never goes away. Your body goes away before that mentality goes away. Right? Like,
absolutely.
I'm still beating the hell out of my son. Because I like to compete. And I ain't giving no L. I ain't giving an L to nobody. I ain't giving the win to nobody.
We ain't taking no shorts.
That's a fact.
That don't go away. So you telling me that a guy that fights, scratches, and claws for every inch on that football field for the past however many years is going to all of a sudden get up one day and say, you know what? I'm going to sit this one out.
No, I'm not, because the mentality of the Warrior is what you just said. However, we've got guys from Harvard. We've got guys from Yale. We've got guys from Princeton now making those decisions for the global trajectory of a franchise. And I think even you now at the stage that you're in would agree to this. And I mentioned it, risk reward, because essentially all of these teams now with using analytics to as a precursor to all their decisions, there's a risk reward and there's a risk column and there is a reward column. And whether or not I like it, which I don't, that's the reality now. And I think everybody here would agree with that's the way decisions are made now in the league. And if you take that masculinity out of that equation and you got someone from Princeton, Harvard, or Yale now that's looking at spreadsheets and they're looking at risks to playing Nick Chubb the rest of the season and rewards, what scares me is that risk column is going to be a lot longer than the reward column. And if they lean on that to make this decision, you could argue that that would be the analytic or smart play in this case.
And I would say if there are people in that organization that are saying, sit Nick Chubb and save him for next year, get them the hell out of there. Simple as that.
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
The one thing that I will say to you, that Stefanski, all these analytics people, the owner, the training staff, the one thing that they can't do, that Nick Chubb has to do, is go in that locker room and look those other men in the eye.
Exactly.
And say, oh, I'm bouncing around, but I'm not going to play because they don't want to end. They don't want me, they want to save me for next year. You go say that to a room full of grown men making a living playing football. You go say that to them.
By the way, I don't think anybody in the front office is saying that to Nick Chubb. Two of the Browns beat reporters just texted me, and they said Nick Chubb's going to play.
There we go.
In their opinion, they don't know the yet.
Because it.
And to further your point, hey, first of all, the four of you are dummies.
We've known that forever.
Whoa.
Because
wait a second.
I'm offended.
Wait a second,
I'm
Leroy.
offended.
Listen, so is Leroy. Take the win.
So is Leroy.
Leroy.
You're the one who took 1,000 hits to the head.
Do you guys understand the way condensation works?
Sure.
And how rain and ice work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can cover the field.
Yeah.
It's still going to freeze.
Exactly.
So,
that's why.
But
that was my point, Leroy.
Here's the deal.
Like, there's moisture in the ground.
I played in Cleveland Municipal Stadium on that painted grass where it was so cold. It was so cold and frozen that I wore turf shoes on the grass.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That is very
You don't
crazy.
And
understand
guess
what
what?
he just said.
That's crazy.
The spike
guess
isn't going to
what?
do anything. A
And
plastic
guess
cleat
what?
isn't going to penetrate that.
And you ready for this? I was the only one out there who looked like it wasn't bothering them at all. Because I made that adjustment. Put that rubber on the bottom of my feet.
Nobody
That
else
rubber
did
had
that?
some nobody else.
Why didn't
Wow.
they
They go,
tell
man,
your
why are you
teammates?
running so good?
Yeah, why did you keep that to yourself?
I didn't. They didn't. Listen, it only takes a consummate professional to even pack his turf shoes.
That's true.
His rain shoes on grass. See what
you
I'm
did-
saying?
But you know, they on Fridays they say pack your shoes and stuff. Did the
I
equipment
didn't
guy
even-
make that announcement?
Wait, Ty, I packed some Jordans and some turf rain shoes. That was it.
Oh, you ain't take no
And I
cleats.
say, no. None. And they say, hey, you didn't pack no cleats. I say, I don't need to. They go, what you going? I said, because I'm the running back and I know what I can run with.
I'm gonna ask you a very
And
important.
guess what? I was out there like I was all pro, and they was running on slipping all over the place because that plastic on that
Jays?
ice
That's what I
didn't
need.
work.
Leroy, what J's was it? That's like the
Huh?
out of everything you just said, the
You're
most
right.
important question is what
Oh, no,
number
because-
Jordans?
running in J's.
But
Was
here's the
it?
deal. Here's the deal. I never wore turf shoes on turf. I always wore basketball shoes.
Me too. That's
So-
that old school turf.
You on AstroTurf?
So when
Yeah, it was different.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
The
so
sevens.
so I didn't want all that traction on the turf. The tennis shoes was good enough. So
I just want to know
but-
what number Jordans it was. Ones, twos,
whatever
threes?
whatever number they had, dude. Look,
That's sad.
everybody got that football. You know, you get that football catalog. That football
East Bay.
catalog to
the threes.
The dude was in the East Bay.
East Bay. That's it. That's
That's-
it.
you know when people get
Because he
that
is
people
talking
get
about
that
the East
football
Bay one.
catalog. They
Yeah.
would give you the football catalog to pick out your shoes,
Yeah.
and then they hand me the basketball catalog.
There you go.
That's what I wore, and guess what? I knew where I was going. I knew what I was doing. I just needed traction to do that. If you came all out of control, it didn't take much to get right by you. But so the field is going to freeze regardless, because if you put the tarp over it, the heat from the field and the cold air when it changes, it's going to freeze anyway.
And there's moisture in the ground that is already below freezing.
So are you insinuating that they
I mean, now-
wear
now-
some Jordans on Saturday?
No
Now
J's.
Leroy's a
No,
meteorologist.
they have, Ty, what they do, what you can do now, because the grass, the grass is all year round, it's not dirt. But what you can do is you can wear your rain turfs. You know, the rain turfs have that little knob on the
Yeah,
bottom.
I know what you're talking, because I
Yeah.
got some of them at the
Yeah.
house.
Yeah. I'm telling you, you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed at what you had to
I
do.
actually like them better
to-
than a lot of shoes, because they comfortable
Yeah.
and now you can still get a nice
Yep.
break on them.
that should be a
Yeah.
segment, a footwear choice by Leroy Hoard.
Leroy,
should
let me
be.
ask you about.
Sponsored, Tri-C.
Let me ask you about Deshaun Watson.
Go ahead.
I ran across somebody from the VFW, right? Old school dude. He an old school Mason, right?
VFW.
He comes to me. He said, Deshaun Watson played a little better this week. And I said, yeah, once, he didn't have any turnovers or whatever. He said, nah, you could tell he playing better by the way he acted. I said, what you mean by that? He said, well, back in our day, I'm an older gentleman, he about 80. He said they used to call it Bronco breaking. He said sometimes, when you do stuff, they try to take your spirit from you. In the first 2 games, I didn't see that level of spirit. And I said, yeah, he was more exuberant. He was more
Oh, you seen the-
demonstrative.
Yeah, more swag.
You
I
seen the
thought.
first down dance?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so
I said,
love
okay.
it.
and I'm gonna ask you about this because I do believe to a certain extent athletes in the spotlight, there's times where you could be attacked in a certain way, where it's like they put you in a place and say, now don't you act up no more. And until you get to a place where you comfortable enough to say, I'm gonna go out here and play my game. If I talk, I talk.
Yes.
If I'm moving first down, Mark, I'm gonna do it.
Absolutely.
And I feel like Deshaun Watson has to get back to the place where he's Deshaun Watson and he ain't worried about if I do a first down, somebody gonna have some signs up. What are your thoughts about his demeanor and the way he could come back and how he needs to act as far as on the field to get to where he wants to go?
I can give you a perfect example of what it is. It's about being comfortable. It's about knowing and being more familiar with what you have to do on the field, that you can just go out and do it and feel comfortable doing it. And then everything else that you have done, you can get back to doing those things. The first couple of weeks, he had to be nervous as hell. The dude ain't played football in 700 days. So I can understand why he might be a little tight, why the ball was bouncing, why. And then the next week, he got a little more comfortable, took more chances, right? This third week, he was more aware of what was going on the field, his surroundings. He started getting back to Deshaun of old. It's going to take some time, but as he starts getting comfortable, you're going to start seeing more and more of his confidence come out in the things he does to play and how he plays. So I expected as much. I expected that the first couple of weeks he's going to be, a little quiet. He's not going to be as boisterous as he would normally be. And as he gets more comfortable, as the guys get more comfortable, because guess what? You also, and kudos to Deshaun for doing this. The things you talking about the first couple of weeks is that he was, not as quiet, not as demonstrative. You can't come in there guns a-blazing, right? You can't, you have to go about it a certain way simply because you're new to this team. And those guys been playing football for 12 weeks. So you got to be careful with how you come in, because it don't take much for another player in that locker room to call you out. And so you got to be careful that you don't come in guns a-blazing,
No rah-rah speeches then, right? What we need to be doing. No,
right.
whoa.
You gotta play it close to the vest. You gotta get some skin in the game before you start suggesting what we need to do. And so kudos to him for taking those first few weeks in practice and in the game, right? And kind of sitting back and kind of playing his part and not necessarily coming into the huddle saying, this my show now. This my stuff.
Right.
Leroy, what happened to Kareem Hunt? Why he ain't as productive as he used to be? What you
Well, here's what I would say about Kareem Hunt. And you guys are a little bit off to this extent. Backup running backs.
I'm about to say we dummies.
Yeah, come on.
I ain't no dummy.
I don't want the ball. I'm gonna ask you.
You can tell it stings.
But think about this. You're talking about a backup running back that's gonna have 500 plus yards.
That's a lot.
That's not a bad season.
That is a good season.
You see what I'm saying? So you got to put what he's doing in perspective. He got 4 yards a carry. So he ain't playing like no scrub. That means if he had 300 carries, he'd have 1,200 yards. So that's not a scrub season. He's limited with his opportunities because he plays with Nick Chubb.
Yeah, but wait a second.
This is
Leroy,
explosive.
nobody said he was a scrub.
Explosive.
G said, and I agree, and I've said it before, he doesn't look as explosive. 4 yards per carry is okay, but that's not special. Kareem Hunt was special when he first came in the league.
He did have the 1,300 all-purpose, right? It was 12.
Yeah.
He had about 8 on the ground.
Yeah.
about 4 and
When is
almost
this?
double-digit touchdowns.
Right. And maybe he will look special again if he becomes a number 1 back somewhere. I don't know. I don't even know if he's going to get that opportunity.
Here, let's not say that Kareem Hunt is what he is based on the numbers when he's not getting the same opportunities.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so
Right, we get it.
and so to say and all I'm doing is trying to take the numbers that he does have and put it in the context of what he's asked to do. You go look at all the numbers for backup running backs, short yardage guys, big, third down guys. Go look at those numbers. They always in the game when it's third down. I was always in the game at 3rd and 2. Get 3 yards and everybody dapping me up, but my yards per carry is 3 yards. So if you can then take those opportunities and still make it a 4-yard average, that means you are doing something. So I'm not going to take anything away from Kareem Hunt. He is doing an excellent job with what his opportunities and what they're asking him to do. You're talking about a backup running back who plays in a lot of short yardage situations, who plays a lot with Nick Chubb when he's running around and going in motion and stuff like that. And he's still producing what he is. All I can do is take that and say, okay, this is the role. He's playing the role fine. Would it be different if he got more opportunities? We don't know. But to say that, he's lost a step or he don't have the same explosiveness, a lot of that has to do with the opportunities that he is getting and the circumstances in which he's playing in the game.
Yeah, he was featured way more in that Kansas City offense than he ever has been
Sure.
here. Hey, Leroy,
Absolutely.
Leroy, a question for you about the game itself. So the Saints obviously have a much easier path to the playoffs than the Browns do. If the Browns win out, they have a 3% chance of making the playoffs. If the Saints win out, they have a 43% chance. So the game is obviously more meaningful to the Saints. Does that scare you at all?
No. Look, it's a weird dynamic with the Cleveland Browns. Where they are right now is here. They can beat any team in the NFL, and they can lose to any team in the NFL.
That's true.
It's terrible. I watch every game on pins. I watch these games
Houston
on
almost
pins
beat
and
Kansas
needles
City,
because
though.
I know that both of them are options, and so from that standpoint, a lot of teams can't say that.
Right.
Like there's some teams out there that if they play certain teams, they ain't got a chance in hell.
What's your fear
And that's
meter on
what's so
Andy
frustrating
Dalton?
about this year, huh?
What's your fear
it
meter
again?
on Andy Dalton, 1 to 10?
With 40-mile-an-hour winds, 0.
2,
I think we'd all be low single digit, like in the 3.
2.
40
But I would
miles.
say this. They got a dynamic running back.
No, they
they
do.
do.
Yeah, they do.
Ooh, goodness.
And our linebackers is the weakest link right now.
Yeah. Now, for
I'm
whatever
telling
reason,
you,
Averaging less than 4 yards per carry, less than 4 yards.
So there you go. There you go.
He's
So,
a bigger
like,
factor in the pass game.
but he's dynamic. That's what Leroy's saying.
But he hasn't been dynamic. He's averaging 3.9.
Leroy, Greg Roman decided he was going to throw the ball 30 times against the worst run defense anybody has ever seen. And that's why Baltimore took the L. I can't imagine New Orleans, particularly with the wind. I would set over-under on passes from the Saints at 15 on Saturday. I just don't think they're going to throw it. They don't have. They probably won't need to.
Here's what I would say about that. Make them pass. Make them pass.
Get him in 3rd and long.
Absolutely. I got to tell you, I don't care what quarterback you are. You coming in the wind blowing sideways 30, 40 miles an hour, and it's 3rd and long, you ain't going to hand it off.
Right, yeah.
Good luck.
Unless you're Bill Belichick against the Bills.
Right. Good luck. And the only reason why Belichick could do that was because he was having success running the football.
Right, yeah.
They
So
should be in
that's
goal
what
line,
I'm going to
Leroy.
say. if you are the Browns, you better make damn sure you stop the run. Otherwise, it's gonna be 10 passes and 37 rushes.
That's a fact. And the
That's
game,
a
the
fact.
game gonna be over with in an hour and a half.
You know who their second? You know who their second back
Good.
is
I'm
right
going to
now?
be
by
there
the
and it's
way?
cold.
Do you guys know who their number 2
Ingram?
back is right now?
Mark
No,
Ingram?
he's hurt. Does anybody know who their second
Hill?
back is right now?
Taysom Hill.
He's not a running back.
No, but he does run the
Ingram
ball. He
run
gets.
the
He's
ball.
He's not
does
their
some-
second
No,
running
Ingram.
back.
They don't even have.
Ingram's hurt.
I don't think they.
It's a guy who was really good like 5-6 years ago. You probably don't even know he's still in the league, but he just got picked up by them a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, you talking about Todd Gurley?
No.
Similar, but not Todd Gurley. David Johnson.
Oh,
Oh wow.
I forgot.
Yeah.
That guy was really good.
But I
Do
wonder.
you know how many yards David Johnson has this season?
Well, he just got picked up by them a couple of weeks
No,
ago.
that's why it's funny. Guess how many
Yeah.
yards he
Under
has.
200, I'd say.
8.
Yeah, it's just been the last 2 games that he's been their third back.
He got 5
But
carries.
second
like,
back.
so you're kind of making my earlier point for me.
They only have one back, essentially.
Look at all these backup running backs in the league. Look what they're asked to do.
Yeah, but
Nick
Leroy,
Chubb is asked to do the same things, and he's excelling at it.
Yeah, Tony Pollard's a second running back. He's much better than Kareem Hunt right now.
He also gets more opportunities.
He does.
He does.
Well, that's only because
gets a
Ezekiel
lot
Elliott
more
missed
opportunities.
games.
I mean,
Yeah, but he's more
Okay,
a part
yeah.
of their every game offense than
Yes.
Tony
Tony
Kareem
Pollard's
is.
the starter.
Whoa,
They
Hunt's on a
almost, they
milk carton.
almost,
whoa.
Tony Pollard's the starter.
No, he
Pollard
not.
Pollard
Ezekiel
almost
is.
splits carries with Ezekiel Elliott.
I bet it's real close. Now Zeke has missed time with injury.
The only,
that's
the
part
only
of it.
running
That's
backs that
probably
split
why
carries
Pollard,
is,
if he does have more
is
carries,
Aaron
that would
Jones
be why.
and A.J. Dillon.
Yeah, but I have Dillon in fantasy, and I can just tell you from watching many of their games, Dillon doesn't touch the ball nearly as
And
much.
I got Aaron Jones, and he get the ball. I'll say this: this is gonna set up again, once again, Leroy. This is how this thing works. I'm gonna just give it to the whole world right now.
What it is.
Joe Woods,
Taysom Hill is second on the Saints.
Holler at your boy.
450 rushing yards.
holler at your boy Joe Woods. You got
Wow.
50-mile-an-hour winds.
But they don't use him as a
You
running
got
back.
one running back in Alvin Kamara. They're not gonna use multiple backs.
Sell out on the run.
You better be an Eagle. That old Buddy Ryan.
No, 46 Bear.
Dig that back
46.
up.
46
Bring-
Bear.
bring-
Yeah. 9 in the box. 10 in the box.
I have
46.
everybody ain't named Mom up on that line of scrimmage. Like they giving out free hams or something. And we going to be up there. Now, if you let this man and you let them get with Andy Dalton 200 plus on the ground, see, you know it, Leroy, you can scheme open. They can't just block all them people. Stopping the run is easier than counting as 5. I got more people coming than you got to block. Now,
Yeah,
this-
but here's
this
the
is
problem.
easy.
You still got to tackle.
And that's been a problem.
Yeah. But here's, you
Your
know
leading
what?
tackler's a safety, and he's got fewer than 90 tackles.
That's not fair
I would-
because
I
their
would say-
mics,
I would
it's been
say
3
this.
different mics.
That's a fact.
Right. No, that's like, people don't realize how important the Mike linebacker is.
Please preach on it because
and-
I said something about it before the season started.
And you know what? Think about this. If you have a good Mike linebacker, he is just as important as Deshaun Watson. Don't believe
Wow.
anything else.
That's
So,
that's
no,
that's a
I'm
big
telling
statement.
you.
The Cleveland
That's a
Browns
fact.
organization
I mean,
need to hear this.
The way
because-
Leroy
So
talks, the
if you go,
quarterback's
if
worse
you
than the
go
kicker.
through 3 of them,
Yeah.
you talking about third string quarterback.
Yeah.
That's a fact. They like, you think of all the Hall of Fame linebackers that played Mike linebacker. When that guy was playing, that team was much better,
Yeah, that's very true.
right?
It is important, and it's overlooked, and the Browns have overlooked
And guess
it.
what? It don't even matter that guy's making plays, and that's what you need to get over. I don't know what it is about that, but teams that have a strong Mike linebacker, or a team, or that's the leader on defense, and he's around for the whole season, those teams usually end up being better on defense.
Interesting. Hey, before we
can't
let you
explain
go,
it.
Leroy, I know this is an interesting game for you. You're from New Orleans, but your heart is with the Browns. Give us a winner and a final score.
Browns 17-3.
And that would,
When I'm watching this game, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm watching the game. I got my little juice. I got my snacks.
I
Whatever.
like your
Beer.
T-shirt too.
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
too.
none.
Is the new nice.
Hey. So I'm gonna say this. While I'm watching this game, right? If they allow or put themselves in a situation where the red rifle don't have to throw the ball, I'm gonna be mad as hell.
The red
Yeah,
rifle.
I'm with you.
I'm gonna be mad.
Quarterbacks that are
'cause he-
mediocre or below should not have nicknames.
Why he call him?
What?
Well, that's his nickname. It has been going all the way back
This
to
is his
All
nickname.
right. Hey, Leroy, when you come on next week, are you going to tell us the kicker is more important than the quarterback?
There you go. The Mike linebacker is the quarterback on defense.
That's true,
I'm just busting your balls.
and so they're very important. Leroy,
Wait, before
have a
Leroy
great
goes,
Christmas.
Before he goes, we got to remind you guys that Leroy, Tim, DeQuell have all signed some memorabilia.
Oh, that's right.
It is up for auction. Auction, not the right word. We're giving it away. To enter, go to wkyc.com/contest. You have to subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show channel. A mini helmet and a football all signed. DeQuell, Leroy, Tim, individually.
I signed
not
the
all three at
Buckeye
once.
Killer. I signed the Buckeye Killer.
Contest runs through the day after Christmas. Leroy,
What a
appreciate you.
character. See
Merry
you,
Christmas,
Leroy.
my
All right, man.
friend.